Okay, there are three main priorities most families have when they come to see us for college planning. And these are the three things that they're thinking of. These are the top three things that are on most families' minds. Number one is paying for college, saving for retirement, or paying off the family home. These are the three big biggies that most of us have confronting us as we approach the college years. Where do these rank for you, Mom and Dad? When parents come in to meet with us, oftentimes I'll ask Mom and Dad to sit there with a pencil and paper and don't show each other, but to rank these in order of importance, one being most important, three being least important. And very often, Mom and Dad have these three things ranked quite differently. So that's a discussion in and of itself that I'd like to have with parents in the very beginning of this college planning process. Okay. Mom and Dad, retirement. Mom and Dad, planning for college does not mean and should not mean retirement failure, all right? You do not pay for college in a vacuum. Every dollar that I spend on college is a dollar less that you all are going to have for your own retirement. And it's important as we go through this college process that we don't neglect our IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, and SEP plans. It's very important to do both because there are no loans for retirement. Mom and Dad, when you get to that age, when you're starting to slow down and take money out of your retirement plans, there are no loans for retirement. Your sons and daughters are hopefully going to have 20, 30, 40 years of working to be able to pay back a few loans. There are three types of financial aid. First type is need-based aid, right? You actually qualify for need-based aid based on income. The second type is merit aid. And merit aid is aid that you qualify because your son or daughter was a good student. They had a good SAT score or ACT scores, or they had a high GPA, or they had a high class rank. So that's merit aid. The third type of aid is performance-based aid. And that's aid that you get as a student for performing for that school, college, or university. Whether it be on the basketball team, the volleyball team, being in the band. In exchange for performing for that school, schools give scholarships or performance-based aid for you or your student performing for that college or university. There are three types of financial aid. There's merit. There are three types of financial aid. Number one is need-based aid. Number two, merit aid. And number three, performance-based aid. Where is your place of most potential for getting financial aid? Need-based aid is the first type of aid. And need-based aid works this way. You take your cost of attendance, your COA, minus your EFC, which stands for Expected Family Contribution. And you take that and you get your what's called your financial need.
And
okay, so Mom and Dad, how do you get financial aid? All right? One is to know your EFC. Your EFC stands for Expected Family Contribution. And there's 7 things that comprise your EFC. Parents' income, parents' assets, student income, student assets, age of the oldest parent, number of children living in the household, and the number of children attending college. Those 7 things comprise your EFC. Student loans. Every year, your student is eligible to apply for federal direct student loans. As a freshman, you are eligible to borrow $5,500, $6,500 sophomore year, $7,500 junior year, and $7,500 your senior year for a total of $27,000. Those loans are administered and dispersed by the federal government. They used to be the old Stafford loans. They are now called federal direct student loans. Okay, Mom and Dad, there are loans for parents, and those loans are called PLUS loans. And here's how they work. They are credit-based. They're unsubsidized, which means interest starts accruing right away. Repayment usually begins 2 months after the loan is dispersed. The current fixed interest rate for those loans is 7.21%. And you can borrow up to, if you want, up to 100% of the cost of attendance at any college or university.
Yep.
Merit aid is the second type of financial aid, and here's how merit aid works. Merit aid is dispersed by each school's admissions department. It's based on your academics, your son or daughter's academic career. So they either had a good GPA, good SAT or ACT scores, they had a high class rank, and during your scholarship visit to each school, right, your admissions officer will usually bag that.
Go.
The third type of aid is performance aid. And performance-based aid is actually what it says it is. Your student is performing for that college or university. It could either be an athletic scholarship, a music scholarship, believe it or not, a cheerleading scholarship. Division I schools have a lot of money in offering performance aid to students. Division II schools have a lot less money to offer for performance aid. And if you're a Division III school, you are not allowed whatsoever to offer $1 in performance-based aid to any of your students. College funding. It's important when you go to college that you know how to pay for it or have a plan to figure out how to pay for it. Financial aid, we look at and help parents figure out their place of most potential for getting financial aid. The second place is we look at cash flow. We help mom and dad improve their cash flow if we can. We also look at any savings and investments that parents or family or relatives may have to help your student get through college. And then lastly, we want to look at borrowing money. If we can't borrow it, or if we've tapped out all of our sources for borrowing money, do we have an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or someone else that we could borrow money from possibly? Where is the source of the cheapest money is really what we're looking for. Choosing the right fit college. So the right fit college means a few things. Does it fit your student's academic requirements? Does it have the programs, the career direction that your son or daughter is looking for? The second component of the right fit college is that school the right social fit? Is it the right size, the right location? Does it have the sports or extra activities that your son or daughter is looking for? Does it have the religious orientations, the clubs, the organizations? The third component of the right fit college is the financial fit. So once we have these two in place, mom and dad, does this college or university fit within your financial constraints? Or you fit within your budget? Okay? Because the last thing we want to have happen is your son or daughter to apply to a college or university and you all not being able to afford it. All right, so where do we go from here? So part of the college process that we take families through is identifying the number of students and their ages, obviously. What are mom and dad's financial constraints and what are the opportunities that present themselves for either you or your children? Personal, professional, and family goals. What do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you going to be going to a graduate school? Is it just going to be a two-year college career? What are mom and dad's retirement account conditions look like? Have they saved enough? And lastly, how close are you, mom and dad, to retirement? Remember, every dollar I spend on college today is $1 less I'm going to have for retirement. Now it's time, mom and dad, to schedule your free 1-hour consultation here in our office. What's going to happen during that free 1-hour consultation? Well, during that 1-hour consultation, we're going to sit down with you and help you determine your family's place of most potential for getting financial aid. I'm also going to explain to you and we're going to teach you the college system, how it works, and how it can help you and your family, and how to make it work for you and your family. And then lastly, during that 1 hour, we're going to help develop a college timeline and a budget so that you know exactly where the money's coming from and in what year and what semesters money needs to be paid to those colleges. All right? Worst case scenario is during that 1 hour you come in, worst case scenario is you are going to walk away with at least 3 or 4 good ideas that you could take home and implement in your own college financial plan.